Welcome back to our deep dive. Today, well, we're exploring some really fascinating territory ideas that might be shaping you right now in ways you haven't fully clocked.
That's right. We're looking at something pretty profound, actually.
Yeah, it's about how the lives and experiences of our ancestors might be rippling through time.
Exactly.
Ooh.
Affecting our emotions today, our reactions, maybe even those odd physical sensations we sometimes get and can't quite explain.
It's like tuning into the echoes of the past in our present moment. And just to be clear, the goal here isn't about blame, right?
Not at all. It's about understanding.
Right.
Gaining a deeper understanding of ourselves, really.
Okay, so recognizing those patterns, maybe those feelings that seem to, I don't know, pop up out of nowhere?
Or that feeling like you're just waiting for the other shoe to drop. Even when everything seems okay on the surface, it's like this undercurrent.
An undercurrent, yeah. Like invisible threads pulling from the past, and sometimes they feel tight, like a limitation.
And in Gestalt work, we focus so much on the here and now,
Mhm.
what's happening right in this moment, body, feelings, thoughts.
Right.
But when we bring in this idea of inherited stuff, we kind of widen the lens, don't we? We start to see how the past might actually be showing up right now.
Okay, let's make this more concrete. You suggested thinking about someone. Let's call her Anna.
Right, Anna. So imagine Anna really wants connection, deep down.
Mhm.
But whenever things start getting close, truly intimate.
She pulls back, creates distance.
Exactly. It's almost a reflex. She wants it, but then whoosh, she withdraws. And maybe she even notices physical things like her shoulders tense up, or she finds it hard to hold eye contact.
That feeling of being seen feels dangerous somehow.
Too risky, yeah. And the key thing here is this might not just be about Anna's own personal fears.
You mentioned her grandmother, a history involving war, loss, resilience too, but maybe silence around the pain.
That's the potential link we're exploring. How that grandmother's unresolved trauma, the things she perhaps couldn't process or talk about, how that might be subtly playing out in Anna's life decades later.
Even if Anna doesn't know all the details.
Even then, it's like she carries a kind of emotional residue, a weight, without necessarily having a name for it. Unspoken grief in one generation can sometimes manifest as, say, unexplainable anxiety in the next.
Wow, that really makes you think, doesn't it? For anyone listening hearing about Anna, does any of that resonate? That urge to retreat, or maybe repeating relationship patterns you wish you could break?
Because these things often aren't just random. They can feel like they're, well, woven into the fabric of who we are, these threads from the past.
And you said our reactions today, right now, might not just be about today. They can be. What was the phrase? Layered with history.
Layered with history, yes. Like unconscious memories coloring our present experience.
So Anna pulling back in her relationship, it's not just her fear now. It could be tangled up with her grandmother's need for distance back then as a way to cope.
It could be an echo, yeah. A resonance of a survival strategy from another time, playing out now. It makes you wonder about our own reactions, doesn't it? What layers might be there?
Which brings us to compassion. Because seeing these links, it's not about blaming grandma, is it?
Absolutely not. It's about understanding them and ourselves more fully. These inherited behaviors, these beliefs, they were often really clever adaptations back then. Survival strategies.
Like the grandmother's silence being necessary during the war.
Exactly. Or maybe a father's stoicism was about keeping things stable during hard times. They served a purpose.
The problem comes when those adaptations stick around long after they're needed, when they become limiting.
That's precisely it. What was once helpful can become a barrier. And maybe, just for a moment, anyone listening could just check in with their body. Right now.
Like, where do you feel?
Tension. Or tightness.
Mm-hmm.
Jaw, stomach, shoulders.
Just noticing. No need to fix it or judge it, just noticing what's there.
Gently aware. That simple act of noticing, without judgment, is actually a huge first step. Being present with what your body is telling you.
And thinking about our own patterns, like maybe always needing control or avoiding conflict like the plague.
Yeah, and asking, how might this have helped someone before me? What purpose did it serve in their life, given their circumstances?
That's a powerful question. And then the follow-up.
Does it still serve me today? Is it helping me connect, helping me live fully?
This ties into the cycle of experience you mentioned from Gestalt therapy, that flow, sensation, awareness.
Mobilization, action, and then completion or closure, that natural rhythm.
But if that cycle gets interrupted for an ancestor, like they couldn't share grief or express anger safely,
Then those incomplete cycles, that unfinished business, can somehow become embodied in later generations, passed down.
so Anna's tight chest. That could literally be her body holding on to something her family couldn't finish.
It could be seen that way, yes. A physical echo of, say, grandmother's suppressed grief, or maybe father's unspoken anxiety. The interruption resonates. It's like a skipped beat in the family rhythm.
It makes you wonder where we might feel stuck in that cycle. Mobilizing, but feeling frozen, reaching out, then pulling back.
Those stuck points are often really important clues. They can signal where our own experience bumps up against these ancestral legacies.
You also mentioned avoidance as something passed down.
Oh, definitely. A survival tool.
Right.
Maybe great-grandpa had to seem strong, couldn't show weakness, or mom learned early on that conflict was dangerous, so she avoids it at all costs.
Learned behaviors that made sense then.
But they can linger, can't they? Long after the danger's gone. And they shape how we handle relationships, challenges.
And those physical feelings, the racing heart, the tight throat when we avoid something.
Connect those back to these inherited protections.
Exactly.
What kept someone safe way back when might now be the very thing stopping us from fully engaging, from taking emotional risks, from deeper connection.
So the starting point for shifting this is awareness. Gentle awareness.
Gentle, non-judgmental awareness. Seeing these patterns not as flaws, but as adaptations that perhaps aren't needed anymore.
For Anna, maybe just noticing the chest tightness, putting a hand there.
And just acknowledging it, okay, I feel you. I'm here with this feeling. That simple act starts to interrupt the automatic pilot.
You also brought up defenses, things like denial or maybe intellectualizing everything.
Or projection, yeah. Understandable ways we try to cope, to keep our balance. But they can also block us from our real feelings, keep the old patterns going. Using humor to deflect, maybe. Rationalizing fears away.
And projection, like Anna being frustrated with her partner's distance, but maybe it's reflecting her own fear of closeness.
Spotting those projections is key. It helps us take responsibility for our own stuff, you know? Instead of just pointing the finger, it brings the focus back inside.
Then there was figuring ground. Our immediate experience versus the backdrop memories, expectations, ancestral stuff.
Right. And if we confuse the two, if we mistake the background noise of an ancestor's grief for our own current sadness.
We lose touch with what's actually ours, our authentic self in this moment.
Exactly. We might think, I'm just a sad person, without realizing we're carrying an echo.
You suggested an exercise for that? Recalling a trigger, noticing body, emotions, thoughts.
And then asking gently, what here feels truly mine, and what might belong somewhere else. To someone else.
Even if we don't get an answer right away.
The questioning itself creates movement. It starts to untangle things.
And this isn't about getting rid of the past, is it? It's about integration.
Integration, yes. Honoring the strengths, the resilience we inherited, and acknowledging the wounds, the unfinished parts. It's finding a balance, not getting lost in the past, but not ignoring it either.
Like Anna, starting to see her chest tightness not just as bad, but as a messenger, carrying echoes of her grandmother's strength and her pain.
And then experimenting. Taking small risks. Telling her partner about the fear. Maybe writing that letter to her grandmother, even if she never sends it.
Just to express it for herself.
Each step, even if it feels scary, brings her closer to feeling whole, integrating these different parts of her story.
And it's not a straight line, this work. It can be messy.
Oh, definitely not linear. It's very personal. But it is possible, and it starts with turning towards ourselves with curiosity, with compassion.
You use the term holding. What does that mean here?
Holding. It's like creating a safe space inside yourself to hold your own experience and also the stories of your ancestors, the good stuff, the hard stuff, the light, the shadow, without judgment.
Like the Gestalt idea that change happens through being with what is, not forcing it.
Precisely. Holding it with acceptance.
And closure, not necessarily tying everything up neatly.
No, not always a neat bow. More like finding a way to say goodbye to parts of the story or roles we've carried that no longer fit, that don't serve our growth now.
Like Anna's unsent letter. Expressing what needed expressing. Creating space.
Exactly. It creates an internal sense of completion, frees up energy.
And maybe that closure comes through talking with family, if that's possible and feels right. Or just quiet reflection.
Visualizing ancestors, maybe not as burdens, but as guides. It's about reclaiming our agency and how we relate to this legacy.
It's a process, ups and downs. Every step counts.
Every step. And there's that paradox, isn't there?
That leaning into the connection with the past actually gives us more freedom now.
Yes. Those struggles aren't just burdens. They're also full of lessons about resilience, about courage.
And our own healing, it ripples outwards.
It does. It affects our relationships, maybe even future generations. It's part of a bigger picture, a kind of collective healing.
So the question you left us with was, What will I choose to carry forward?
From the ancestors, and maybe from this conversation too.
Yeah.
What feels braver, softer, truer for your path?
No need for instant answers.
Just staying open, trusting the process, knowing we're all connected in this through history, memory, hope.
So just notice what's bubbling up now. Relief, curiosity, maybe some determination. Let that guide you. Because healing isn't just fixing, it's...
Becoming whole, more
Yeah.
fully ourselves.
Right. This deep dive, it's really just kicked things off, hasn't it? The real conversation continues inside each person listening.
These ideas, they'll keep working away in your body, your relationships, your choices.
And change happens in those small moments, doesn't it? Asking the questions, noticing the patterns, finding a moment of courage.
Exactly. And just remember, truly, you are enough right now. Not perfectly healed, but willing. Willing to be curious, willing to reach for connection.
That's where the magic happens.
That's where the healing begins.
Okay, maybe let's just take a breath together. Feel grounded. Acknowledge yourself right here, ready for whatever comes next in your story.